Hey, so I'm going to be ranking my favorite Ducktales 2017 characters. So basically a top whatever list. I guess 10 since that's the usual number people go for. Also, while the list is kind of indicative of how much I like each character based on their number, I do really love the characters in this list. Though I do love a lot of the Ducktales reboot characters. Alright, so at 10, I got Mark Beeks. He's pretty whiny, but I do also find him pretty entertaining. Honestly, he seems like he could be a brother of mine. Not that my brothers act like him, they not really any close to him, behavioral-wise, but I can see him being a brotherly friend of mine. I don't like how he isn't able to be developed too much in the series character-wise, but he's still alright. At number 9, we've got the Queen of the Shadows, the Sorceress of the Shadows, Magika Dispel. I know she's relatively low on this list, but I do actually love her a lot. I just wanted to give the higher numbers to characters I love more, like characters with good alignment, that are, like, trying to be good. Not that she's not good, you know what I mean, good versus evil, blah blah blah. And I also wanted to give higher numbers to main characters, or, like, characters that are more important to me. Anyways, Magika, she is very entertaining. I adore her design, and she's delightfully wicked. I do feel bad, spoiler warning if you are interested in watching the reboot of Ducktales and never seen it before. Spoiler for season 3. I do feel bad that she lost her brother Poe, though the fact that she and her brother were tyrannically, I don't think I said that right, but I'm not gonna bother trying to say it again. They were ruling over a village and turning people into animals and food, which does make it hard to be completely sympathetic to her. She only cares about herself, which isn't too bad of a thing and makes sense considering she's a villain, but still, I love her. Number 8. Okay, so I think Della might be a fan favorite, so I might have just pissed some people off by putting her all the way down at 8. To be fair, it's my opinion. And also just hear me out, please. I do really like Della at times. She's funny, relatable, a mood, and incredibly energetic. Unfortunately, she has a lot of problems she doesn't really work on, or actually the show doesn't want to work on. And I feel the need to clarify that I'm not talking about her probably having mental issues as a direct result of her being stuck on the moon for a decade. I'm talking about her lack of responsibility, just how immature she could be, and her lack of caring for her children. Yes, she does love her boys dearly, but she does forget that as their mother, she needs to protect them, even if protecting them is difficult or more boring than she likes. Time Foom does slightly address this, but not enough to satisfy me. Even then, in that episode, Della doesn't really care about the children's safety, well, with her only deciding to get my voice, I need water. Where was I? Chili dogs. Her only deciding to get chili dogs, which I don't like chili dogs, so it's just a personal thing, but I just wanted to say. And then her not caring that the children ran outside in the middle of a dangerous storm to investigate, I think, some noise or whatever, but I'm not sure. Either way, they go out in the middle of a storm and she doesn't really care. And also her lack of wanting to discipline her children. And again, the episode slightly touches on her becoming responsible by having her ground Louie, but even then she takes it too far by taking away his company. Though I don't think Louie Inc. illegally existed then, but still, taking it away is too far. Because it's his dream. It's her child's dream. Yes, it was wrong for Louie to mess with time like that, but it was a mistake. He apologized for it. Yes, he should be punished because, yeah, he almost erased all of existence. But taking away his dream is just a bit too far. And then, where was I? I lost pace. And then, Della makes it even worse in the following episode, Launchpad, next episode, by limiting Louie to just his room with DT-87 making sure he stayed there, implying that Louie couldn't even leave to go get food or go to the bathroom, if the boys' room doesn't have a bathroom, which I think it might, but I'm not too sure. That seems like pretty terrible parenting in my opinion. Yeah, Della is trying to teach him a lesson in being more responsible and thinking of his family more, that Della did something equally as bad as Louie's typhoon, if not worse, which was to take off in the spirit of Celine and abandon her unborn sons that were going to hatch incredibly soon. That's completely irresponsible of her. I still kind of love Della. I just wish the show tried making her more responsible and an actual parent. I also wished, in addition to what I just said, the show had also shown how much of a parent Donald actually is compared to Della, and showing the two of them trying to co-parent. Presumably with Della being like, Donald, they're my kids. I'm the one who should be doing... I don't know why I gave her this voice, but yeah. But yeah, Della being like that, because it would make sense if the triplets needed help with the whatever, and they're so used to Donald helping them, because Donald is basically their dad, because he did raise them, and, you know, that makes Della feel left out and pushed aside, kind of like the episode Nothing Can Stop Della Duck, but with Donald, and an elaboration on her feeling left out, because after going their whole life without Della, the triplets are going to be pretty used to going to Donald for things. Okay, so maybe not all the triplets, since Dewey is very happy and very eager to spend time with his mom. It's not him. Dewey is a possibility, and Louie is definitely more likely to go to Donald rather than Della for help. Yeah, I know the episode I last mentioned touches upon this, but again, this imaginary episode would be an elaboration on those feelings, just like it's an elaboration on Della feeling left out. Since Della saving Louie once isn't going to be enough for him to suddenly be going to her for everything. Okay, I think I rambled enough about Della, so I'll wrap it up. Della, she's a big mood for me. But with her probably having ADHD and me also having ADHD, she also has some of my favorite lines in the entire show. She's decently funny, and she's very protective of her family. I do have a lot of problems with her, but I still enjoy her character. I wish she was able to develop more. Alright, at number 7, after the essay on Della, I'll keep my opinions on Drake brief to get on with the video. I really like him. He's like that meme of looks like a cinnamon roll, can actually kill you, quite literally. I, like I can with many of the other characters, can relate to him. I know I say that a lot, but I do relate to a lot of the characters, in some ways, some more than others too, but I relate to him being a huge nerd about something he loves, him being greatly inspired by his hero, him wanting to do good in the world, and him wanting to be like his hero. He's also very sweet, and I hope the Darkwing reboot has a similar Drake Mallard, if not the exact same Drake. Number 6. While I do really love him, I don't like how airheaded Launchpad can be most of the time. It's consistent, to be fair. It's also frustrating to watch sometimes. I do, however, love how sweet and nice he is. Launchpad is a Chad and a total sweetheart. Also, he's a mood with how much he loves one thing. Like, as someone who I was trying to combine probably and possibly, who probably has ADHD and might even be on the autism spectrum, it's quite relatable to have a special interest in something and know almost everything there is to know about it. I would put him up higher, but his intelligence keeps me from doing that. I still really love him, don't get me wrong. Number 5. Honestly, Webby and I both share the hobby of deeply researching a person and obsessively fangirling over them, as well as memorizing specific things about said person, or even just certain things we're interested in. Though I mostly do it with just fictional characters and not like actual people. Though I do know a lot about Melanie Martinez. She's my idol. Webby is also the meme of it looks like a cinnamon roll, could actually kill you. Kinda like Drake. Or exactly, not kinda. And I also love that. Also, just like Webby, I love things that are cute but deadly, such as wolves and a lot of other things. I also have an interest in daggers. I just think they're neat. I don't have any, but I would like to buy some. Number 4. Louie. Louie, sweet little Louie. Louie is my precious baby boy. If anything happens to him, I'll kill everyone in this room and then myself. I legitimately had a dream where I even called Louie either my son or my baby once. I don't remember much about that dream, I just remember me calling him that. I love Louie, and again, I relate to him. I probably said that I relate to a character way too much on this list so far, but I'll say it again because I can relate to a lot of the characters. But back to Louie, I relate to the feeling of sticking to one thing because that's the only thing you're good at, and being afraid of doing something else and not being good at it, or being afraid of not being good at it, and also just wanting to be better at doing something. He has a ton of big baby energy, and I love that. He's also got lots of youngest sibling energy, something that we also have in common, especially being the youngest of 3 children. Number 3. Fenton. Cinnamon roll scientist. What else can I say? Okay, I'll also say that I find him to be absolutely adorable, as with many other characters, and I like how much he tries. Since he's number 3, I probably should say more, but I'm going to be saying more at number 1 and 2, and I want to save time for those numbers since I actually have stuff to say. I mean, I do really like Fenton, I just don't know what to say about him, like why I like him. Even though I do like him a lot, I love him, he's adorable. Number 2. I love Donald with every fiber of my being, and I would literally die for him. I have to say that Donald is one of the best parts of the entire show, hands down. When I first saw the series back when it only had 1 season, I didn't care much for Donald. I liked him, but I didn't give him much thought, especially when compared to characters I cared much more for at the time. I stopped watching the series, blah blah blah, did some other stuff. I stopped thinking about his characters, blah blah blah. Then I came back. I forgot what I thought about most characters. I generally liked most of the characters from the show, but I generally forgot why. Then, when I started watching the show again, and I saw Donald in action, okay, that sounds stupid, but I saw Donald and his character, I realized just how great he is, and how much I loved him, and how precious he really is. Donald Duck is a national treasure, and I think he's one of the best characters from the entire show. He's dedicated, loyal, loving, fiery, and caring. I wish I had a 2017 Donald Duck in my life. I get why they sent Donald to the moon for a bit in season 2. I probably should have said spoiler, but if you don't wanted to avoid spoilers, then you shouldn't have watched this video or clicked on it. I wish he wasn't gone for the second half of season 2 because he's one of the greatest characters in the show, and it would have been nice to see some co-parenting between him and Della because, like I said earlier, the boys are used to having Donald in their life for being their guardian, for being someone they could turn to no matter what. And yeah, obviously Dewey's already attached to his mother and is like, I love you with all my heart or whatever. Yeah, it would also make sense because they're just so used to Donald. But no, they just send him to the moon. Yay. Number 1. Scrooge. Dear old Scrooge is my absolute favorite character from the entire show. I love this old man and would hate to see him finally die despite him being well over 100 years old. I think he's actually 153 or something since he was born in 1867. Anyways, I love him more than he loves his treasure and family combined. Okay, I might just love him as much as he loves those 2 things, but I still love him a lot. I love his personality, I love his design, I love all the adventures he goes on, and I'm sad that the series is over. I think Scrooge might be the most developed character in the show, but go ahead and let me know in the comments who you think is the most developed character in the show. Also, I like how Scrooge might just have enough money to buy most of the earth, considering he bought a country just to save on foreign postage. I also just find the fact that he could buy the entire world funny. And also about the foreign postage thing. That's totally something I would do if I was as rich as him. So it came to my attention I didn't record an ending for this video, and I just ended with the list. And if I wrote a script for that ending, I cannot find it. So I'm improvising this outro. Yeah, so it's been a while since I wrote the script and even like edited the video, and I kind of disagree with some of my placements now. I still love all these characters, but like Launchpad, you know, he's more like Launch Chad. I like him a lot more than I thought I did before, or at least, yeah, I realized just how much I like him than I did before. And Della, yeah, I mainly don't like her. I still like her, but it's more like dislike than like, you know. I like her, but I also don't like her. Again, mostly dislike her. She's still a fun character, you know. But yeah, Scrooge and like the top three, Fenton, Donald, and Scrooge, definitely still like my top three. Louie, still my precious baby, of course, love him. And I'm like recording this in my closet, and I'm trying not to be heard by anyone. So that's why it's like pretty quiet. Sorry if it sounds terrible. It probably does. Anyway, thank you so much for watching.